For the second part of our presentation about classes, I would like to create another project and move our customer class over to the next project as well. So let's first close this project that we have already created and say File, New Project, and again the same set of parameters. I will call it week 10. This time, because I'm going to bring over main class from the previous project, I am not going to create the main class. I'm just going to create an empty project, and that's about it. Click Finish. Now when we create an empty project, you will observe that only the default package is present. We already discussed that using default packages is highly discouraged. So let's take a note that this is my directory where I keep my projects right here. And so I just created this project, and in its source it has nothing. It has no subfolder because there is no other layer where I would keep my source packages. So just to follow the same consistent way I was using previous projects, I'm going to add new package right away. Just create new package, right click on source packages, and to be consistent, create it as week 10. Okay, so if I create an empty project, I normally create a package as a first step. And once I have this, I can go back to my previous project, which is called week 9, and under source, under week 9, I can find my customer and main app source files. So I'm going to copy them over to the new project under source, under week 10. Now I can copy them right here, copy and paste, right, bring them over, and so here you will recognize now that I just brought over the two source files from our previous project. And I will open both, okay, and I will change the name of the package to match the current name of the package, right? So both of these files have to be changed so we can carry over and continue on with the copy of what we previously had. So I'm just going to save everything, and let's run this to make sure that everything works correctly. Now, because the main class was not added automatically, I am presented with this dialog box to specify which class should be used as a main app, and the wizard here finds that the main app does contain a main method, so the wizard tells us that we could use this one, and I'll just say okay, let's use this. And do you see how our parameters that we provided when the new customer class was constructed successfully continue to print? So everything is brought over to the new project consistently, and everything seems to be working fine. The next step I would like to address in our handout is the idea of setters and getters. So this is our class right here called customer, and again, for the convenience, I will move our view side by side so it's easier to write code like this. Notice that the data attributes, which are very important for our customer class, are all declared private. So they're protected inside this class, and the protection or encapsulation of these three data variables that we maintain inside of our object are available only to the methods that we have here. However, it'd be okay to allow user to change area code, change the phone, or change the address. So if you'd like to provide access to these data attributes which are declared private, what we typically do is to add getter methods and setter methods to these data attributes. This is how this can be done. So I normally, inside NetBeans environment, I normally just add some space here, and wherever the space is available under a list of operations. We can even add a comment that we would like to add some getters and setters. And right here, again, moving to the space, I can right-click and choose to insert code. So there are various types of code that we can insert, and it comes up with these prompts. So we can insert getters and setters for existing data attributes by using this wizard as opposed to just typing them directly. I'll just click on all three and say, okay, let's allow the user, the client application which is using this class, to have methods to update these data attributes inside already existing object. So let's just say, okay, generate, and you can see that at the place where my cursor was located, now there are 6 methods that were inserted here. Get area code, set area code. Now, obviously, get area code returns integer because our area code was defined as an integer. The set area code will take an integer, set the area code again using this keyword, and returns nothing. Okay, because it's designated to only accept the new area code and store it, update it inside of our objects. And same thing with the get phone and the set phone. Get address and set address using the string. So these are getters and setters which are typically added to classes which allow to modify the data attributes outside of the class. Now, if we made these data attributes available directly in the form like this, we could make them public. But this is highly discouraged because we'd like to stay in control of our class design, and if we decide to change area code to become a string, it would be an incredibly inconvenient idea to expose area code as public data member outside of our class, because people can start using it directly, and now it could be very difficult to change from integer to string, because now everybody and all other parts of the application also have to change the data type. However, if we made this private and instead provided access to area code through get area code and set area code to the outside application, like this, right? So we could just like go to the existing customer right here, right? And we can now say set area code, and we can specify area code as 555, something like this. Okay. So because we're doing this, because we're using a method, this creates an additional protection against whatever design decisions we can make for our data attributes, for the changes about the data attributes, but it should not be really affecting our client code of our class name customer outside of the class, because they can still continue using this previous method structure, previous set of parameters, and continue to use more or less stable methods that we already offered as a set of operations for the clients of our code. So this is an idea of getter and setter, and typically you need getter and setter methods like these when you have private data attributes, but you would like to allow the client code to modify these values or to get access to them.